recap in the sense of um, in the sense of like what you guys have accomplished so far, and then what you want to be doing and where we want to go from there. I think that's probably a good place to kick this off, and then wherever it evolves to and how whatever we get to, that'll be. I think that'll get us to where we need to be, because when we ended last week, you guys had done a ton of running around. You had accomplished a whole bunch, and then there was just a whole lot of like data dumped on you guys. And I know that that was a lot at the end, especially at sort of tail end of a gaming session. And so I just want to make sure that if you guys have questions or ideas or concerns or whatever, that we're talking about them, as opposed to just being like, moving on, here we go, see you later. So um, effectively, I'm opening an Excel spreadsheet right now that sort of talks about what you guys have done. And so the way that the game clock kind of kicks off for this is day zero is when you guys, sort of being led by Heritage, arrive at Gallo and speak with Gallo the first time. You guys talk, you have kind of a celebratory meeting and a meal. Nim, you really were like putting the screws to Gallo to be like, what's your plan? What are we doing? What's happening? Gallo's like, I kind of don't want to talk about this right now. I want to talk about this in front of my war console, not with a bunch of other randos in the room. You're kind of like, all right, whatever. You spend the night in like a manor that's been set up to house you in the sort of like one of the boroughs of Gallo. There's some random like happy garbage starts day people that are in there with you, and you're like, fuck them, let's do this. And the next day you wake up, meet with the war council, and you head north up the Elite Gap to see if the Regessians have like invaded. And you guys go through this like horrific march, maybe not horrific, but just very tiring march. And you finally get to the last outpost and find out that yes, the Regessians have done an incursion. They've taken over that outpost. There's paperwork that says they're coming. You conquer them, you like in more ways than one. Like you literally stop the escape of the dragon rider messenger through both the form of a giant flying T-Rex and a giant flying Nim. But you guys take care
From
of
now
that.
on, when that happens and I get polymorphed, I'm gonna be yelling, "It's morphin' time!"
Would you say Mighty Morphin or just Morphin?
Well,
No, he says morphin time. This is Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah, right. It's morphin' time. Tyrannosaurus.
I like
Savannah's
I
is just
do
like,
like
oh
it.
shit, I didn't know I was, I got counterspelled. I said Tyrannosaurus. What the hell? I don't
now.
even.
Oh shit!
Okay, so it's now canon that I don't even know that Savannah's turned me into a T-Rex. I think I did that on my own.
By pure will. You're just
It's
like,
right.
form up. Yes.
Thanos
right.
T-Rex. That's what the T actually stands for, is Thanos Rex. My God.
It checks out. So you guys spent the night there. Heritage met up with you finally, had some fresh horses. Not that you needed them because your horses were able to be recovered. The next day you returned to Bresk, debriefed Gallo, and he's basically like, can you... here's what we need. We need to get Dashkaban. We need to get Timor on board with us. We think they are. We think that evidence that you found is there. Can you please go, because we just need to focus on getting like battlements, like in escarpments, etc., like everything just set up so that we know we have the best chance of being victorious. And we don't know if we can do that without their forces. And so you guys spend the next day and you go into the Pitchwood Forest. You talk to the pitchlings, convince a giant band of tinkers to effectively tinker in the worst possible way with the Stepping Guard forces as they're coming up the Nasham River. Progress, have to spend the night. The next day, you make it to Dashkaban, convince him like almost immediately.
Is Dashkaban day 3?
So Dashkaban would have been day 4. Day 1.
So first day we went up. Day 2 we came back.
Yep.
Day 3 through the forest. Day 4 Dashkaban actually arriving.
Yes. Actually, like speaking with him, you made it fairly like sort of mid-morning from where you
Yeah.
were from the Pitchwood Forest. From there, it was a 90-mile trek to get to Lady Timora's if you went up the Glasskill Cliffs, which you did. So you guys took off, went back through the Pitchwood Forest, saw that like the pitchlings were making giant, like what looked like pitch slingshots. I'm pretty sure what Kevin said was, I fully approve of this. Um, you cut back across the land and then you had to camp. And then the next day, woke up, made it to the base of the Glasskill Cliffs, cast fly on everybody, flew up, dealt with some really aggressive flying, not flying, thankfully, not flying, but some really aggressive giant apes, made it over the top of this half mile vertical face, made it to Lady Timora's and convinced Lady Timor to to join forces. Lady Timor did give some sort of somber and sobering news in the sense that your actions in the fire forest have effectively opened up another route that the Regessians could enter unimpeded into Dason. But she respects the information that you gave and is like, I commit my forces as well. And so quick side note, it's going to take the cavalry and foot soldiers from Dashkaban 5 days to arrive. It's going to take the forces of the spellcasters and a I think I described it as maybe a temperamental elemental uh, from Lady Timor 4 days to arrive in Gallo. Now, you guys left that same day and arrived back on Gallo on day 6. Originally, if you guys had not done anything to do this otherwise, I just want to make sure I have this right. Lord Dashkaban would have arrived on day 7, and then the first attack would have happened on day 8. Because of your efforts and because of the efforts of some of the things you've chosen to do. Oh, I also left out that you decided to not engage with the people of Pittsburgh or whatever it was to convince them to like spill their yearly supply of garnered pitch onto the ice to slow King Steppengard. You chose not to do that, which is why you made it to Lady Timor as quickly as you did. But because of all your actions, Steppengard's forces are not going to arrive until day 10. So if you have arrived back in Gallo on day 6, debrief, do everything, get a night's rest, you are given day 7, 8, and 9 to do whatever you want. Day 10, there will be briefings. And so I know I said 3 to 4, and I know for some of you, you said I will spend 4 days. So I'm not saying any of that can't be kind of retconned, but specifically for Jen, as a person who has done fasting before, you definitely need a day of downtime before doing anything after fasting. You don't come out of fasting and feel like you're amazing. So maybe you fasted for 3 days. On the day that Steppengard's forces arrive, you're like carb loading and getting ready to be back and then going at it. Does that make sense? Is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. I read it and I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole imposing things, but if you've been sitting in cross-legged in a sweat lodge for 4 days, not eating anything, I have to impose some penalties on you. But um, I think I want to walk through what each of you decided to do, and then I tried to come up with some sort of creative benefit that you would have gotten from that. So, Nim, I had you first. So, after your 3 day, I'm sorry, before I go on, all of this makes sense. Are there questions or anything about any of that?
I don't think so.
Okay, and with that scale, it was on day 9, the day before Steppengard's forces arrive, that both Dashkaban and Timor's forces arrive. So they've had a chance to get there, rest, and be ready for a full day and a night before the first assault happens. So you guys did it. Now, in this game, this section of the book is called the Battle of Gallows Fend or Gallows Battle, which sounds a little dark. but it's not it's not Gallo with a W. Nobody's getting hung yet. But in order to win the battle that's coming, just like a game of Catan, or Catan, I don't know why I said it weird. Just like a game of Catan, you need victory points. You need enough victory points. And so right now, you have earned 8 victory points for getting Lord Dashkaban to come and arrive in time. You've received 8 points for Lady Timor to agree to like help and arrive in time. So you're at 16. Right now that you actually, you know what? Instead of just saying this, why don't I do this? I'll just do this and put it into Discord, and then you can see it. Boom. Boom. Paste. Enter. All right. So right now you've got 16 victory points. Your options for I'm kind of fast forwarding, but I'm just putting it out there so you can see it. The night before the first battle, you have 2 options that that Gallo comes to ask your help with. One was the mage assassination, and one was destruction of siege weapons. You guys, sounds like you guys have chosen the siege weapons because of they're both stealth missions, but one of these is probably more handleable than being a straight up assassin's run. So I'm guessing that you're going with siege weapons. You can choose otherwise, and I'm happy to give more intel about either of them, but that's where you're at. The way that this is going to go, there's 3 outcomes depending upon the number of victory points that you get throughout the sequence. One is you and Gallo's forces win, right? And if a win is one outcome. The next is there is a tie. And if you score at a certain number bracket, it is a tie, and there is an outcome for that. And the third is that you lose, and there is an outcome for that as well. So something will happen besides straight up death unless you're murdered during combat for each of these, but it will all come down to the total number of victory points that you've been awarded. I could tell you how many victory points you need to win, but I'd prefer to keep that a secret. So I'm not going to tell you that so that you're not aware. Um, Maybe you can call me an asshole for that, but that's fine. That's what I'm going to do. So with that said, I want to kind of walk through, like I was saying, each of what people were doing and then go from that. And so Nim, your suggestion was that you wanted to kind of do something that was going to be connective to Thanos, connective to religion, connective to your deity. And I think you spend 3 days first kind of finding out if there is any spots of reverence or like worship to Thanos. And I think maybe by the end of the first day or midway through the second, you've kind of exhausted that and realized that there isn't. And that the next best thing that you can do is try to erect one of those kind of phone booth like structures that you had seen in Sequin that before you had left Sequin, others had then started to be constructed. And so that idea of like a small wooden box that there is a cloth that can be pulled to cover, that the cloth itself has some holes in that maybe show particular twilight patterns that you see in the stars or constellations that may be akin or close to Thanos. And after 3 days of doing this, I think that what happens is 2 things. One, for the next 2 battles, you will be granted advantage on both religion and intelligence saves. And then the second thing is, I need you to give me a perception check.
Oh, that was better than what it almost was.
You know what?
16.
16. You feel like on your mace, like I'm assuming it like when you're just walking around, your mace is like standard size. You haven't like extended it to like, like
Mm-hmm.
quarterstaff size. You feel on your mace, or maybe you notice it, that there is like a bump like something doesn't feel right. And as you kind of run your forefinger or your thumb over it, it doesn't do anything. But you think that maybe if you extended it, um, it it might it might do something. So what do you do?
Yeah, we'll try it out.
All right, so you push that bottom button and it shoots out. So it's like this like 5 or 6 foot length that would give you reach. And you notice that there's now like a rocker switch, and a rocker switch is I'm sure everybody knows what it is, but if not, because I didn't know that this is what these were called. It's one of those switches that you can like has a middle zone when it's off, but you could put to the left and does something, or push to the right and does something. Um, and because it rocks back and forth, aka a rocker switch. I didn't know that until like a year ago when I was working on a project, and I was like, "What are those things called?" Oh, a rocker switch. Okay, that's what it is. And you see that on one side of this rocker switch, because it's currently in the mid section. Um, there is like a picture of like a rudimentary sun, and on the other side of the rocker switch, there is what looks like a crescent moon.
I mean, both sides play
All
with
right,
it. See
cool. So
see what happens.
when you push the sun side, everything gets much brighter, as if like suddenly somebody had cast light on your now extended mace, and it goes out for a 10-foot radius. And when you push the moon side, you can't see anything because suddenly everything is in darkness, as in the spell darkness for a 10-foot. No, I'm sorry, a 10-foot diameter. 10 foot diameter, like daylight or light, 10-foot diameter darkness around your staff.
Okay,
And then if
cool.
you put it in the middle, and then if you like switch it back in the midsection, it's
Nothing.
it's just normal. No, there's no emanation from it. And you realize that when you shrink it back to normal size, you can't flick that, or at least maybe at this point you can't flick that.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to extend it first to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That said, you also notice that the head of your mace is starting to take on this like almost it's taking on a visage that you may recognize as being connected to Thanos in some way, and maybe you want to tell the group what that image is.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I'd have to find it, but it's like a purple eye. I think the what it's like a. I'm trying to remember.
It kind of makes me think of like an eyeball that's kind of like swirling in and of itself.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see it. Yeah, so like the pupil itself is kind of like a cat's eye, but then what's the outer part? Is that the iris? Is red, but again, it's kind of like a the Sauron eye where it's got like a slit up, and then the outer part is kind of like a circular saw with like teeth in like a rotating way.
I, I'm not gonna lie. I had not thought of like a saw blade, but now I can't unthink that. Like I'm never
Right.
gonna look at this and not think that now. That's pretty cool. And so that like the head of the mace, like the kind of ball that's the end of your mace, in both the extended form and the shortened form, now has that kind of heraldry burnt into it. And if you so choose, you can use that as a holy symbol if you want to.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, cool. More to come. More to come. For
Yep.
everybody, more to come. But I just I'm each of you came to me with some stuff, both either like in the main Discord or privately, and I loved everything that came. So I wanna work with it. All right, obscurity. I'm going to jump to you next. Solitude and meditation for 3 days, giving you that final day as Stepping Guard's forces arrive to recoup. Maybe you found like an old clock tower that no one was in. Maybe you found like some sort of hovel on like the outskirts of Gallows Fend. Maybe you found like a hollow in the giant wall that protects Gallows Fend from frontal assaults, as the backside is protected by the Stratton Dotch River. Wherever it was that you found your kind of sanctuary, you go in there and you're able to do what you need, right? Like you're able to heat it to what you need. You're able to find a way either through magical means or through constant sort of uh, perseverance on your part to maintain that, so that there is this possibility not only for body and mental purification, but also for anything that you might consider like your sort of spiritual center. And I think the question I want to ask is that as you're doing this, is there any one thing or any one person that you either concentrate on or that maybe comes and speaks to you?
The only people outside of the group that obscurity has any sort of thoughts or connections to is the three weeping ravens
Hmm.
and somewhat, I mean, most, I guess, the three weeping ravens.
Okay.
And
I know that you have, as discovered in the King's Chamber when you guys met Steppengard, a very sad past. But I just wonder if there's anyone that maybe you try to like connect or convene with there, or while you're going through this, like in maybe in remembrance or in solidarity or
oh, um, you mean not on the plane of form necessarily, like someone who
well,
is
I
dead?
like to think, yeah. So one of the so in my understanding of sweat lodges were a way to purify your body against disease, but it was also a way to purify your body to a point that you could communicate with those that you couldn't speak with. And so I think I will explore with you the three-eyed raven, but I also think that I wonder if there's not some one or some ones that in this moment of like meditative repose that you're contemplating in a sense of like, my actions serve to preserve your legacy, my actions serve to ensure that like our way continues, or even just like I goddamn miss you kind of thing.
Yeah, no, she definitely is doing this with the intention to tap into the singular higher consciousness. Not thinking of any one individual personality that she's had relation with, but um, the soul of all of us and everything, essentially. So
I
she's attempting to connect to her higher self.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
I think in that case, two things happen while you're doing this. I think the first is that your memories, as strong as they might be, to the sort of testing that you had with Three Eyed Raven um, in the forest outside Sequin, is still very real to you, in the sense that like since then you've literally run up and multi-punched an insect dragon in the form of a remoraz and almost died but survived that. You've battled like so many people. You took the the nunchuck that was provided to you and decapitated someone with it, which is, I mean, impossible, but yet you did it. Yet you did it. Um, and and I think that you're able to connect briefly with with Three-Eyed Raven, and in that moment, you you feel this kind of surprise as you connect with him because he was not expecting you to do so. And his words to you are soft in the way that they were when you had a discourse in the forest. They're not harsh, but he basically just says that your actions will determine your path, and that your path has rivers, but you must choose the destination that that river flows. Um, and as he kind of presents that to you, the you see in your mind's eye the image of the nunchucks that you've been granted,
Mm-hmm.
and that there is this, like, as you kind of perceive them, you perceive that there is this flow of energy that looks like water that's coming out of you and going towards the nunchucks. And when it hits the nunchucks, or when it like encounters the nunchucks, it divides into three different pathways. So like a fork or a trident,
Mm-hmm.
like a 3 point trident, and that each of them flow forward. And kind of as you follow them or kind of glance at all of them, there's this almost like brilliant glow that you can't see, where you're just like you're unable to see where each of them go, but you get this sense that like each of them has their own focus. um and what would you say is obscurity's like major offensive focus right now, like in the sense of like what is the one thing, like the one attribute that you focus on more than anything else? Like,
Um,
is it strength? Is it dexterity? Is it constitution? Is it like wisdom? Is it like what do you see?
mm, Dexterity is her highest um,
Stat,
stat.
for lack of a better way, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, so
exactly.
in
I mean,
uh,
but
well, no, no, no.
I think
Go ahead.
go ahead. Okay. I think that dexterity, when she was younger, like dexterity is her strength. So she was very much focused on building her physicality. And she's at a point now where she's seeing the limitations of that. And so now her focus is more along the lines of wisdom or intelligence. Like she wasn't very intelligent, and now she's wearing this magical headband that makes her really fucking smart. And so now she's like, holy shit. Like,
Fair.
um, I didn't realize how stupid I was before and
All
the
right, all right.
detriment that was to me. So I think now she essentially is absolutely prompted to focus
S
on intelligence and wisdom.
Well, so this does not give you a choice to make, but what you see before you in this sort of, um can I say trifurcating? I'm going to say it. I don't know if that's, I know bifurcating is a word. I don't know if trifurcating is a word, but I'm going to go with it. Trifurcating, like, pathway of this river as it splits at the nunchuck. You see one of these, like this sort of energy river coming out of you is like so fast, right? Like it looks like the most rapid river you've ever seen, where it's just like if you were in it, you would be out of control. You would just be swept by it out to whatever destination it was going to bring you to. And then you see another one of these pathways that appears to, rather than like stream through stones and boulders and pathways, it just comes like a flash flood and just smashes through things, right? Like it's just obliterating whatever is in its path. And then the last path that you see, and maybe from what you just said, is the pathway that glows the most, is rather than fast or strong, there is this pathway that seems to have carved a navigable path through everything in a canyon, that like it flows straight and true and is not daunted by anything in its way. And as you kind of look at that, you hear in your mind again, Three Eyes, and Three Eyes' voice just says, "These are choices that you will have to make." I'm sorry. "These are choices that you will have to make, but they are not choices to be made now. I trust we will indeed meet once again." And as that passes, like as it passes, and you kind of continue on this spiritual quest, um, I think you kind of hit a moment where there's almost like a keening sound. There's like this. Nope, that's not the right way to describe it. There's a silence that absolves all other silences. Of every avatar, you just see this swirling vortex of peoples. And after a certain number of peoples, you just don't recognize them anymore, but you're able to commune with all of your lineage and see who it is that makes you who you are. And I think that we can either cut there, or if there's something you want to say or do, I want to give you that opportunity.
No, I'm good with cutting there. Thank you.
And so as we cut there and you come back and you kind of like collapse, right? 3 days of just being exposed to incessant heat, not eating, and just like full concentration. Your muscles are exhausted. All of you is tired. But what was the one thing that you focused on more than anything else while you were there? Whether it was a skill or a like an aspect of physicality.
Mm. I mean, I was definitely doing some breath work. So,
So what I would like to say then is that you have advantage for the next two battles on con saves and any skill that's connected to Constitution, if that's acceptable.
I'm sorry, you said I will have advantage for the next 2 days?
No, for the next two battles.
2 battles, 2 battles.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, all right. Like again, like I hope that this is cool. Like I walked away from work this afternoon because I had some like I finished a number of projects and was like I can't deal with the ever-present threat of not having a job, and I need to go do something. And I walked away and had a chance to just dive into this. And I hope that this is cool because I was trying to make sure that this was cool for everyone. All right. So Savenis,
Yeah.
have not forgotten about you, sir. And so um, your the thing that you wanted to focus on was trying to find out more about mystical instruments that you could, delve into and have at, or even just like know more like legends about to maybe, you know, grow your knowledge and find and seek. And unfortunately, from anyone that you could speak to here in Gallows Fend, um, the only thing that you could garner is that maybe you should talk to people from Lady Timor's like citadel, or if you've heard of it, there's a small seaside town known as Sequin that has a lot of mages in it. Now, I'm saying that not to be an asshole, but literally there's nobody fucking here that can help you with that
Yeah.
goal. I didn't want to be a dick about it, but it's also there's just nobody here that can help you with it. But that doesn't mean that if you guys survive this battle, that Lady Timor's castle, which I know, or Citadel, which I know for a fact Moruck wants to go investigate because it's not a library. Um, maybe that's something we want to check out if there's downtime after this battle or downtime at some point. But also, you know that you discovered some information in Sequin, but maybe that means that there's more in Sequin to discover. That said, I don't want to shoot you in the foot and give you nothing. And therefore, what I would like to do is what we were talking about before, when you rolled rolls that nobody saw, and I would like you to make 2 persuasion checks. Now, I know you're going to give yourself advantage on this, but roll 2 persuasion checks, and then depending upon what you get, I'm going to give you a price discount that everybody can apply to their purchases.
Well, I mean, the persuasion checks are in the game log, but I will do that again.
They were made when we weren't in the game, you son of a bee.
All right, let me do this with advantage. Roll.
2 ones. Come on, everybody. 2 ones.
And of course, they're lower now. It's a 16 is the top one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Wait, a
but
16 for a roll or 16
no,
for
16 total.
16 total. Okay. So with a 16 total, based upon what I drew out today while we were there, you can make sure that everybody gets a quarter off. If you had succeeded to the same degree that you did when nobody saw anything,
Well,
I
it like I said, it was it's in the game log. I can look at it. Anyone can look at it. But
I could shift into Tinker right now and tell you don't get shit. You're on fire. I'm just saying. But that said, any purchases that you're going to make um, will be given a quarter off for the total cost of it.
all right.
25% discount in case anybody doesn't know fractions. There you go. All right. The other thing is that there is a letter that is delivered that a like a courier comes up to you and says, excuse me, are you the one known as Sylvanus?
Yep.
I was told to deliver this to you. Please take it, sir. Take it. Take it.
Okay.
Take it.
I will take it.
You take it, and it is a block. Wow. I'm making words up. It is a black envelope that has a red seal on it. A red seal that you might notice, but or not, I'm sorry, that you might recognize, but the only the way that you would recognize it is potentially with history
Is it a
or,
gnome?
I mean, you tell me, is it?
History of 15.
It definitely seems indicative of a gnome that you've run into before.
Okay. Lovely. I'll read the note.
Do you want to read it in front of everybody, or do you want it to be a private thing? That's up to you.
Well, I mean, I can read a letter without, reading it out loud. It's
Well,
just
I just mean, am I going to
Oh
tell
yeah.
you it, or like, am I saying it privately? Because
No,
As
no.
a bard, is that actually true?
I read this privately. Privately, I
Like
read the following words. Yes,
he goes into his room and just reads the letter, but
just
he's like
yells it as
singing it
loud as
and
he can.
yelling it
Yeah.
out loud. It's like we're not even coming to the door to listen to it, but we know everything that was said.
Yeah, you can read aloud. No secrets, so
So I hears you's been makings your ways up north. Good for yous. I told yous I'd be finding out where yous was. I told yous I might be coming to ask a favor. I also knows you been looking for instruments. Maybe it's something I can help yous with. But yous gotta do me a favor. Next time you're back in Sequin, why don't we do a little quid pro quo? Yous come see me, and I gives you something for your services. Also, watch your back. Smiley face, eggplant emoji.
good. Nothing like getting fucked in the ass.
All right. So yeah,
I
so that's what you got.
round. I see.
I think that moves us to Moruk, and um, Moruk and I had a couple of quick chats about his goal, which was to remove the voice that was talking to him. And I think Moruk, what you had said was that you were going to go to Nim and see if Nim was able to do anything, or maybe some other steps. And I think that maybe that's a good point to kind of integrate this back into it. Again, like it's nebulous in the sense that maybe this is the end of day one, maybe it's the middle of day two, whatever it is. What would you like to do? Um, and you tell me. And if we want to side channel this because you want to handle it some other way, that's fine too. But I want to leave it up to you, and then we'll go from
So I wasn't able to find any experts in the city that might give insight into this. Not much insight into Shadowfell, which is where I think that I went. So I'm being very honest about that part of the story, and that I might have ties to that. And then Nim being part of the church, maybe they have some insight. And then if no insight, maybe provide some form of protection for different rituals so that I can travel into the Shadowfell and see if I can put a face to the voice that's watching me.
Well, before anybody says anything, you do know that you have a ritual that allows you to go into the Shadowfell. That may be
Yes.
okay. All right.
I just don't want to go in without any, like, I was hoping for some sort of protection, whether it's just blessing or
Gotcha. You want some coverage before you go. I gotcha. All right.
right, exactly.
All right. I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I've got plenty of rope. So like we
I don't
just
know what
tie that
works, but here
around
we
your
go.
waist as
Yeah.
you're jumping in and pull you right out.
Charlie,
I will say that like maybe if that was a question, the sort of religious um folks, right? The clergy that you have spoken to here in Gallows Fen will say that they would be helpful. They would be happy to try to do that too, like not to waste party refunds, or not refunds, but like resources or anything like that. It's just what they had said to you was that like normally you're right. It seems like you're cursed, but you're not exhibiting any of the signs that you're cursed. Like if to make a sort of comparison, if we were describing The Exorcist, you would have started speaking in languages. You would have started like vomiting pea soup. You would have started floating off the ground. But instead, all that is happening is a voice that no one else hears. Obviously, the
Yeah,
party hears it because I say it to you. But like that's what the troubling nature of this is that like
yeah,
if the Shadowfell was invading you in some way,
right.
the world would see it, but for some reason,
I'm
no
trying to
one
go to the
can.
police
Mhm.
before the event happens, and they're like, "No, nothing's happened yet." So I might
There's no
quit.
missing person to file a report for, like, you're still right here. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm going for is, can I get some additional protection in the meantime to like avoid corruption or something, or avoid
Okay.
a worse
I
curse?
I mean I mean, if Nim wants to provide something like that, sure. If there's something that you're looking for specifically, I would also say that, like, one of the clergy that you've had a chance to speak to over the last day or so would have offered it to you, just, like, free of charge, just to try to help you with what you're facing.
Mm.
And then and also throughout all of this, that the voice has been non-existent. It is not spoken to you, so it is not pressuring or doing anything otherwise.
Right. It seems to only come up at certain times, so it's
Hmm.
not like a constant thing. I guess I would practice spells in the Shadowfell, see if it activates anything.
Like you slip into the Shadowfell to cast spells.
Yeah. See if he grants me some things from
I think
doing
so.
that.
The
But
very first time when you found like that book that gave you insight into the Shadowfell, and then maybe the next time was when you found that ritual.
hmm,
The Shadowfell itself is this kind of nebulous and ever changing location, but one of the things that you had seen, and I think it was that book that you discovered in the library in Sequin, is this like gnarled and kind of self-imploding tower on a crag that just seemed to be illuminated by light that was of no real source, right? Like a lightning strike illuminates everything, but for some reason in this picture, the only thing illuminated by it or by that kind of energy was this tower on a crag with this like nebulous bridge that led to it. And this being either the second or third time that you've gone into the Shadowfell, because I know that you've had the ritual and maybe you've been playing with it, maybe you haven't, maybe you've been like studying it to see if there's more, whatever it is. As you go in, there's this same sense of like you feel this pull that kind of comes around your abdomen that pulls you forward as you go through the veil, and as you show up there, there's this sense of there's this sense of candle smoke, right? Where like the top of the tallow burns and it turns this to this like this almost oily black that wisps around, and you just as you get pulled into the Shadowfell, your whole being feels like it's made of that. Like it feels like at any point if someone were to touch or push or you were to dump like push like bump against something, that your form would shape to it as opposed to being yourself with this sort of like oily irregularity. And as you're there this time, you start to notice that there's also this like radiance around you in the sense of like you're in the dark, you're in the black, you're in the ichor, but that you're whatever you are right now is giving this like sort of luminescence. And as you kind of come to that realization, that voice comes to you and says, "Well, hey baby, I didn't think I would see you here for a while. What can I do for you?"
How do I get you to stop?
Well, that's a difficult question for a couple reasons. Why would you want me to stop?
Your voice.
Well, I can't control that now, can I? I don't know who's laughing, but I love it in the background. Um, but the voice is like, "Listen, you burn brighter than a sun here in the Shadowfell. You showed up once before and then disappeared. And then when you showed up again, I needed to make sure that no one else got to have you. So I moved in."
Yeah, that's the problem.
Is it? There are far worse things here in the Shadowfell. Far worse things that would do far more devastating things to you if given the chance. All I want is a chance to stretch my arms in the sun, if I could. You just have to say yes, baby. That's all.
Hmm. You've given me some ideas, but I don't think you're gonna get any of the light.
That is disappointing. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'm happy to sit here in the dark, wait another eternity, but I've latched onto you, and if you ever need me, I want to make sure I'm there for you. Because if I am, well, maybe you'll give me a chance at the light. And here in the dark, I got no chance.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, there's power in names, right? Why don't I just tell you my name? I'll tell you my name, and if you need to call me, you know how to call me. and I'll be there. But
Wow.
there's always a chance. Well, no, it's not a chance. If I come to your aid, you gotta aid me, if you know what I mean. But my name's really long. Most folks call me Nechi Wikiwa. But if you want to call me, you just say Nechi. And I'll come. I'll come to you fast as lightning. You want
All right.
power? I'll give you power. You want claws? I'll give you claws. You want teeth? Oh, baby, I'll give you teeth. But you see, the Shadowfell is full of monstrosity, and we all want a chance at the light. So, if you don't want to deal with me, that's fine. But I can't promise that the next ones that's going to come in and tap your shoulder and try to bond to you is going to be better. Probably going to be worse with the glow you got.
Mm. Who, if there's stronger ones, do you have a master?
Well, that's a good question. How much you want to know? Because if I'm going to tell you all my secrets, maybe I need to know some of yours. Or maybe you just need to give me some chance to stretch my legs. You know what I'm saying, baby?
So you won't tell.
Oh, no, I will. I'm not keeping information. But I think it's a real it's really my brain don't work. I've been here in the darkness too long. It's a little tit for tat. You give me a little, I give you a little. I'll tell you what. You tell me who you want to see die more than anyone else. I'll tell you a little information about this place. Happy to
There's
share.
this pirate I heard of named Hal.
somewhere there's a dwarf Hal going, "Oh God, why is it my brain? Who is? Stop it!" Yeah.
He's in a different dimension. That's why he's only suffering from psychosis and not
Mhm,
dying.
mhm. Not 100%, but 1,000%. Yes. So, but yeah, who is it you want to see dead more than anyone else, baby?
I don't wish death upon many.
Well, that's very noble of you. But death's gonna come to everyone. So you might as well make it happen if there's someone you don't like.
Well, I'll have to let you know if I call you.
Well, you know what? Hey, listen, I tapped your shoulder. How about this? There's a long pause. If I tell you how you can just let me go, you can. And you can do that. But I warn you that there are far, far worse things here in the shadow looking for a light as lightly and as burning as yours. All I want is a chance to stretch my legs and be on the other side for a while. If you let me do that every once in a while, we don't have to play cards. We don't have to play games. But if you don't, then I'm going to collect cards until I'm going to take control. And if you think that's unfair, then you should see what some of the other folks here will do to you. You
So
open
the
the door.
cards are used to control me.
The cards are a way to see if you're up to the challenge. Because you'll have cards of your own. I mean, I'm not lying. I've told you, you could have a card to let me do a thing. And some of those things are just increasing your power because I want to see what happens when we do it. And some of them, well, some of them do give me maybe an upper hand. But here's the thing. I want to establish a relationship. I want to establish, dare I say it, a friendship. Because I think we could do some incredible things together. Just matters on if you're willing to be part of that pact. And if you're not, again, I'm not saying you have to be. But what I am saying is there sure are some things here that give me the shivers. Whoo! And I don't want to see you end up with them. Because they ain't going to give you a bargain. They ain't going to give you a deal. And they're probably just going to eat up you and that light that I see inside of you.
That's plenty to think about.
You go take your time. It's all right.
All right, I'll call you. You don't call me.
Well, I can't make any promises, especially when violence is on the table. But all right, baby. You take your time. Let me know when you want to talk some more. You know my name, and I know yours. Bye.
All right. I need to go to Nim for confession.
You're like, I gotta go somewhere and throw up. I'm done with this. So, yeah.
Fortunately, I'm looking at my spells right now, and I'm pretty sure I do have Spare the Dying already learned, so
Okay.
throw
He's
that
not.
your
I
way.
mean, Murrock's not dying yet. No, there's none of that. But
No, yeah, you're welcome.
yeah, I know a spell that can help you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's nice. That's good.
He's not dying yet because of Spare the Dying.
Because of my inactions, yes, for sure. All right. So, all right. So I know that that is incredibly unrewarding, but I also feel like
Okay. I have a lot of insight now.
there's a lot of interesting things in there, and I will say that if you want to have like further questions with with Nachi that you want to kind of throw out there, we can do like like an out of game chat to kind of do if you don't want to do it in game. Yeah. So I also think that like your communication with that and your like kind of outreach is that like if there is there anything you want to try to do additionally, like that may not like all of those that interaction may not grant you something. So is there anything that you want to try to do outside of that?
No, not at the moment. I do have some thoughts, but that's yeah, I think I'm good with that for now.
All right. Okay. So you guys have spent your 3 days in your various ways, and you've reaped the rewards or outcomes that have occurred. Anybody who's buying things, please know that that like quarter off or 25% off that Savennis was able to do 100%. That applies to any purchase you want to do.
It's 100% now? Nice. Got a bunch more things to buy if
25%,
it's 100%.
25%, 100% of the time. Yes. But I think that Gallo basically, as you guys are working through this, as like his forces and Dashkaban's forces and Timor's forces are arriving and going through places, there's he kind of comes to you and says that there are two potential missions that you guys can participate in this night before Steppengard's initial like assault. Each of these carry risk and can be attempted at any point through the night, but success will give a much greater chance of victory in the battle the next day. Um, I don't want to talk about the battle next day until we get through tonight because it may affect some choices. But um, he does say that if you were to engage in either of these, that you will effectively be able to, because of like reinforcements and everything, get a full night's rest. So basically, whatever is going to happen tomorrow, you can come into with a full, like, fresh start, no matter what happens tonight, unless you're dead, and then you're dead. But um, and so there are two possibilities for tonight. One is siege sabotage, which is trying to destroy enemy siege weapons, catapults, and light ballista, or mage assassination, which is literally trying to make it into the tent of the head war mage of the Steppengard forces and take them out. Now, we kind of talked about this last week. I said both of these are kind of stealth based. Everyone's like, the majority of us are terrible at stealth. What are we going to do? And I'm assuming that that means that you guys would more than likely try to do the siege sabotage as opposed to the mage assassination. Um, is that correct, or are you guys thinking something different?
Don't get me wrong, Obscurity loves a little assassination.
I'm
It's
not gonna
just,
lie. I literally read these and I'm like, Obscurity's gonna be like, I want to assassinate the mage.
yeah,
Or like,
like that's
the,
her jam.
um,
Yeah.
I
But
will I will say that, like, the need for stealth for these is far higher for the mage assassination than it is for the siege weapon destruction.
yeah,
Um, and so
and so
and after your display, when you decided to solo your way up the outpost in the Elite Gap, maybe you remember that and you're like, ah, shit, maybe I don't solo this. Maybe I
yeah, yeah,
don't.
exactly,
So,
exactly. Yeah, so knowing what she knows,
I,
she is
how about that?
definitely down with sabotaging some siege weapons.
Now, I do believe that at one point, well, so there's some intel to be gathered, not to be gathered, but there's some intel to be known about both of these. Okay, um, the first is that the siege sabotage is to try and destroy heavy catapults and light ballista that Steppengard's forces have brought. What Gallo can tell you is that thanks to aerial spies, whether they're, like like carrier owls or bats or ravens or whatever, um, your friends the pitchlings have done the following. Uh, originally, there are originally, before you did anything with the pitchlings, there were going to be 10 heavy catapults and 8 light ballista. Because you engaged with the pitchlings and said destroy shit, there are 3 heavy catapults and 2 light ballista, a much reduced number, because those fucking fire retards burnt and destroyed the shit out of them as they walked by. So, and I realize I just said something that was probably less than tactful, but at the same rate, the
It was
pit,
hysterical. Keep going.
the pitchlings are Tinker in my mind, like just a whole batch of Tinkers burning the poop out of stuff. And so right now there are only 3 heavy catapult left that Steppengard's forces have, and 2 light ballistas. The light ballistas on wagons, and the heavy catapults have basically been dug in or entrenched into positions. And so um, that's what you know about that. What you know about the mage, aka Kelkin Thravenost, is one, he's a gnome, and then two, intelligence that you get from Gallo says that he has a female, I think it's pronounced like, yeah, Gynosphinx that's with him at all times. Um, yeah, Gynosphinx, because that's a fun word to say. But I think at one point when people were traveling through Dason to get down to sequence, somebody noticed that. I want to say it was either Sylvanas um, or Moruk. I think somebody rolled and noticed that. I couldn't find my note when I was going through things earlier, but somebody noticed that there was a dwarf or a small person on top of a sphinx. I think it was when you were passing through one of the mountain ranges.
I think it might have been me, but
No worries, but you've uncovered that. And so intelligence intelligence says that here's what we can do. You guys can either follow Sapper's tunnel. So basically the dwarves are going to like dig a hastily constructed tunnel within 40 feet of where they know the initial like catapult or heavy catapult was supposed to be. Now, because they're missing some, there might be more distance between the opening and where it is. But they will build a tunnel that you guys can effectively rush out of to get towards it. I'm going to talk specifically about this like siege destruction first and then see what you guys want to do. What they know is that at each of the siege towers, there is a contingency of stepping guard soldiers that are there to guard it. They are not specifically there to guard it, but they are near it because the catapult itself is effectively 3/4 or more surrounded by first a dirt moat that is 5 feet down on the ground, followed next by a dirt mound that goes 5 feet up. So it's basically a 10-foot climb from there. And then what's called a cheval de frise, which is a series of like punji sticks, like just very sharp sticks and poles all around it, that if you were to come over the dirt mound and have to move through, it would effectively stab the shit out of you, even if you made a dex check to make it out. Now, that said, the catapults themselves are built out of wood and rope and sinew, which means what? Which means that they can either be tampered with a, hang on, I gotta go back to my notes. They can be tampered with a DC 19 dex check to make people unaware that they have been like fucked with, or you can light them on fire. A large catapult, which takes up several squares besides 4, can have up to 4 fires lit on it, and every round, those fires will deal 2d10 damage to the catapult. The people who are around it can spend an action to put one of those fires out, and if they do that, that means that obviously it's not doing damage to it anymore. If you choose to do this particular venture, you will be given 4 additional knights, because there's 4 of you right now, that will travel with you. And those Gallo knights will try to intercept the stepping guard forces as quickly as they can. And there are rules as far as like what is a hit, what is not. And it's basically like several hits take care of this, several hits take care of this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so basically it's a way to kind of streamline their battlements. So basically I'm going to have them go, I'm going to roll initiative. When you guys roll initiative and we figure out what's going on, it'll go boom, boom, boom. And there'll be 3 rounds. One of them will be the you guys, one of them will be Gallo, and one of them will be the Knights. You can have Heritage come with you if you want, but I'm going to tell you right now that it makes more sense to have Heritage with you for stuff tomorrow. And if Heritage were to die tonight, that might be problematic for tomorrow. So maybe don't bring him on a stealth mission tonight. You can if you want. I'm just saying that it's up to you. And then the last thing is actually, so Venice, roll a perception check. Give this to you. 17. With that, you have heard rumors that there is some sort of creature that is prowling around above the siege weapons. You don't know what it is, you don't know how big it is, but you know that there's some sort of creature that is in the air above it that has been reported. And so with that, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick pause. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and then you tell me what you want to do.
Okay. I'm figuring out stuff I'm getting. So,
Makes sense.
right now, from the 3 things that I've looked at based on that list, I've got almost 800 gold used. If we want to, like I said, I really want to get rid of the 2,000 that we have that's just in here, because I don't know, we're gonna walk away from here and then have 1,000 gold that we can't use, or 1,000 gold worth of something that we can't use, sort of thing, potentially. So it's like, all right, does anyone have thoughts on stuff that they want?
Let me see. Do we have enough potions and whatnot?
I think I have all of my starting potions, which I feel like was a lot. Checking now.
Let's see.
I have 5 potions of healing greater. Oh, I'm sorry. I have 6 greater.
Oh, jeez. I have 4 just regular potions, but none of those really good ones.
I have none.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I did get them with the intention of being
Yeah.
for
Fair
everybody. I just figured I'd be
Spreading them
most
out.
likely to stay alive. Right, exactly. Just we
Do
had
we
enough
want-
to hop in the bottles.
It's the same sort of thing. Like, I'm keeping track of the gold, but it doesn't mean that it's like, it's all mine, bitches. It's just like, oh no, this is how much gold we
Yeah, I'm obviously
have.
going to keep you guys
Yeah.
alive.
Right. And if it's something where it's like, with the potions, maybe it's like everyone has 1 per battle, and then you have just whatever the leftovers are. So like if you have 6, we all have 1, so you've got the remaining 3,
Yeah,
sort of
that's
thing,
cool.
just in case it comes up
Yep,
and into
spread it
play.
out.
Yeah.
One thing to consider, just not to knock any of that, is that the way that to make this sort of like battlefield epic move faster is there is a specific DC roll for Gallows forces to hit Steppengard's forces. Specific like thing for Steppengard's forces to hit Gallows forces, like a DC count or an AC for that. And if they do hit, they make a wound. And Gallows soldiers can take 3 wounds. Steppenguards have a higher AC, but they can take 2 wounds. So if you use a health potion, like a standard health potion on them, you will remove 1 wound from them.
Hmm.
If you guys, if anybody else interacts with like targets besides things, you'll have your standard AC and battle and whatever. But basically, the math has given me the breakout of like what like a hit does. So like if you do a hit, like you'll take your hit and that will move them, and whether that does a full wound or 2 wounds or whatever it is, that'll be what it is, and those will be marks on those characters. Also, for just for a final point to say, sort of 2 points. The first is that if at some point you guys are overrun, if you are going to do the siege run and to take out the siege weapon, if at some point you are overrun and are beginning to be captured, the dwarven sappers that have created the tunnel that you can escape through will blow the tunnel and leave you there, because they do not want to provide a retreat route for step and guard to the back of the lines. The second part about that is that the gallows knights that are going to be there with you to fight with you, they're going to engage the first target that you engage with. If more show up, they will not move until they finish dealing with the first target that's there. And then the last thing to know, or just to sort of talk about, is that if you do not fully destroy either a light ballista or a heavy catapult, they can be repaired and they will be used in the battle tomorrow morning.
I think we can take all of them out. We got this.
Well, I think that, like, so first of all, I'm excited. I want to see how this goes. But the other thing that I want to put out there is this, is that you realize that the siege catapults themselves are basically 40 foot apart. But Intel will come in and say that it's basically there's one 40 feet, then another, and then for whatever reason they've decided that the last one is 80 feet away. So that means roughly from where you're going to show up out of like the underground, it's going to be 40 plus feet to the first one. And if you get there, now you're talking 80 feet to the next one. And if at 80 feet, 160 feet to the next one. And there are people, or like there's like stepping guard soldiers that are watching each of these. So if you show up and start trying to like mess with them or burn them or whatever, they're going to start an alarm. And that alarm is going to alert more and more and more soldiers, which may either kill you, incapacitate you, or prevent you from fleeing back to the sapper's tunnel that they will then blow so that you can run back to Gallo.
Doesn't someone have greater invisibility?
That would be me.
Okay.
I can cast.
Don't sound excited.
I can cast it on somebody,
Okay.
but I have regular invisibility, which would be from the instruments, so I could cast that multiple times.
Okay. And who's the best person to
Me.
Okay.
Just when you paused, who's the best?
Hey.
That'd be me.
Gotcha.
Easy,
Yeah.
easy gust. Easy.
Who's the best one to sabotage some catapults and
Well, with
See.
sabotage, I think it's destroys the only way to make sure, because it sounds like they'll be
Well,
up.
It's the
No,
dex
you
check,
have-
so it sounds
you have
like it
two-
might
yeah.
be you.
You have two options. A DC 19 dex check to see if you can sabotage it. If you sabotage it, then they will not notice what you've done. Or you can light them up, which
Right.
is lighting fire on them so that they are burnt.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking the dex check.
Sabotage would be the easiest, yeah. But
I was thinking to do it so that they weren't that they didn't know. Fire is sort of obvious, but
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, first resort we try to sabotage them. Last resort we just light them up on fire. We can't do that.
Okay.
Again, each one of these, there are only 3 because you're pitchling friends.
And remind me, I do have a gift for the pitchling friends when we head back that way for their services rendered.
Okay, cool. I'm sure they'll love it. In fact, they probably don't even want it. They're like, "Ah, we have to kill things. It was the best." That said, like again, the sappers are going to get you there. Are you going to try to move stealthily? Are you going to try to go to the last one first? Are you going to go to the first one first? Like, what is the plan? Like, it is. You're going to get there in like the pitch black of night. There's going to be like just all of a sudden, like you're following these dwarves, and then above you, you see blackness, but realize it's different as it suddenly opens up into the night. And as you do that, they're like, "All right, you, good luck." And they point, and you see in front of you, several yards away, if not more, a series of 3 campfires. Each of those campfires is surrounded by several of what must be Steppenguard's forces, situated away from these catapults that have now been like dug into and then earthbound around, like what the hell is that word? Not embedments, whatever it is. Like they just sort of like you're
Embankment.
well, the embankment is the dirt around them. There's a term for it when you're digging trenches, and I can't remember it, but whatever it is, they're there. Like, and if you were to just, unless you were to run around directly to the back side of them and try to go in, getting in is going to be the worst bit of bullshit ever, and you know that.
So
I
as
thought
a
the tunnels brought us to the back there, no?
No, so the tunnels brought you within
But what we're
40
looking at right now.
40 to 80 feet of the first one. And as it kind of opens up, like I just imagine that like these dwarves are superior diggerizers. And as they're digging up and like maybe like the dirt above them falls back onto them so it doesn't make a sound, you emerge out, and as you kind of poke your head up and you're some 40 or more feet away, you see that there is a trebuchet, but it's again, it's centered in this sort of like earthen embankment that's got a moat around it, and you can't tell, but you've been told that like if you make it over the embankment, there's this they're called like chef de frises, which are basically like a bunch of like super sharp spiky poles all around them. So like you would have to like try to jump over them or maneuver through them and not get hurt kind of thing. And behind each of these, and you see like one a certain distance away, one 40 feet beyond, and then one a little bit further, there's a fire with people around it. What do you guys want to do? I asked before I moved you to the map.
well, one thing I put it on the Discord, but I'd probably try to find is some potions of flight in greater or regular invisibility and speed.
Well, I know you can give everybody flight. Yes?
Correct.
Yes. All right. Invisibility.
I can also do that.
You can also do Jesus fucking Christ. What are you saying? But what was the thing you wanted potions for then?
Well,
To do more people.
it's also it increases the
get
time.
both.
Oh, all right.
And then I'm not utilizing charges for myself. For instance, I could just swig back 3 potions, all of a sudden be fast and flying and just zipping to the far one and then going for it.
The thing to remember, though, is that at the end of this, unless you are captured, you will have the opportunity for a full night's rest, and you'll have all of this back for tomorrow. So,
yes, but it's also the time frame because the spell versus the potion a little bit different. Because the I guess it's up to an hour on invisibility, and then fly, I guess, probably the same. But I guess I'm just concerned with utilizing extra charges for anything because I feel like I'm probably going to end up needing something along the way.
I mean, that's resource allocation, bro. I'm just saying.
I know that's trying to utilize resources.
So let's do this. Roll me a D100 or 2D10, however you want to do it.
Yeah. We'll do 2D10. All right. A 10 and a 6.
Okay. Divide that by 3. $16 divided by 3.
Yeah, I know. Okay. 5.33333.
Yeah. So you get 1 of whichever potion you want. That's what you get out of Gallo.
I'll take the speed.
All right. So you get a speed. You get 1 speed potion.
Okay. So, all right. I will. Okay. I guess who would be the best person to reach the furthest catapult to sabotage it?
I mean, it's probably dexterity or obscurity.
Yeah. It used to be oblivion, but now obscurity is dexterity.
I was gonna be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's really just one person right now, but okay.
Right. And the answer is going to be the same for every single one of them. It's like, what about the far one? That's probably obscurity. But what about the close one? Well, there's Morok, but it's obscurity again. What are you asking?
Right. All right. So what I'm going to do for that as what can I 5th level? Let's see. You can take 1 action. Okay. So there are 4 of us right now. If I cast this at 5th level, I think that would work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Enhance Ability at a 5th level. That is going to give us all
plus nothing
advantage on dexterity checks. And also, you don't take damage from falling 20 feet or less if you're not incapacitated. So in case anything happens. So you'll get that for up to an hour. So it's going to be myself, Obscurity, Nim, and Morok. And in that, I'll give Obscurity the potion of speed that gives you the power of haste for an hour, I believe. Let me just make sure I got that. When you drink this potion, you gain the effect of the haste spell for 1 minute. No concentration required without suffering the wave of lethargy that typically occurs when this effect ends. Haste being your speed is doubled and you get a +2 bonus to your armor class. And you have advantage on dexterity saving throws. But that's just saving throws. Okay.
Okay, so, and that's for 1 minute. So you're just handing me the potion bottle.
Just handing you the potion.
Okay.
That you're going, I would say.
You want to take this, baby? Take it.
I would say drink it as we're leaving the tunnel into the dark, just so you can focus on getting the furthest.
I'm saying right now that nobody has left the tunnel yet. So if all of this is happening, you're still there. The tunnel has opened. The night wind is like
okay,
blowing through.
So I'll hand off the potion to obscurity. I've cast the spell for everyone to have advantage on dexterity checks in general. I will do, was that 8 charges between the two instruments. They each have 7, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone has fly and invisibility. Fly is for 10 minutes, invisibility is for an hour.
I have a question about invisibility.
Yes.
Do I lose it if I'm fucking with the mechanisms to sabotage the siege weapons?
If you are making a hostile action towards a like an NPC, yes. But because it is a mechanism, then no. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
All right. So I
It's
think that
almost
what
like a
I'm gonna
sliding.
yeah. So what I'm gonna say is this: I'm gonna move you guys to the map that you guys kind of started with, and open that up and close this. And then what I want to do is that I gotta shrink some stuff. So okay. So I need to figure out why that is not doing a thing. So hold on.
Get your shit together.
Wow. Thanks. Thank you so much. Because I went in here earlier and was like, oh, this is a thing. And it's like, oh no, you can't do things. Okay. Can't do that. So maybe it's on the
Psych. Just kidding.
Psych! Token layer. Token layer.
Just going to display everything. Oh, also before leaving, everyone gets a bardic inspiration. And 14 temporary hit points.
Ooh, that's nice. I just do this. I'm just gonna go
Oh, all right.
daylight mode, save settings, so
Wow.
everybody can see.
Go up.
Okay. Yes. Yep. Okay. So everybody should see from where you're at that there is a catapult here, and a catapult here. There is a light ballista here, and a light ballista here. Now, if you guys had not engaged the pitchlings, it would have been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, going that way. And for light ballista, it would have been like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 kind of thing. But what you guys are aware of is that there are 1, 2, 3 heavy catapults that could still F Gallus forces up tomorrow. There are a group of people behind them, all sitting at firelight, waiting to see what happens next. And then back here, I'm just going to let you know that there is a group of people waiting around wagons of that. And of course, you guys have heard that there's something else happening. So, how do you guys want to handle this? Because I don't know.
I'm gonna fly to the furthest. I mean, when we're ready. Whenever we're exiting.
No, just you do you, and let's see what happens. So just see what happens. Somebody mind Spiker real fast, but okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. There's 2 things to note. The pitchlings were ideal for like harrying and stopping the artillery forces. If you had gone to the Pittsburgh and done it, it would have delayed them by days, but it would not have destroyed as many things. The pitchlings are like freaks of nature, so just good job. Just saying.
Yeah, we chose our allies well.
100%. Yes, not going to disagree. So So what is it that you guys want to do? Like, what is your battle plan here? There are 3 catapults. However, each of them has like a contingent of soldiers around them that will clearly come to their aid. Um, just to use the most, like, I guess the closest one, I just want to do this. So out here is a moat that you like would have to climb through. Up here is a wall of dirt that goes up 5 feet, so it basically goes up 10 feet. On the inside are these cheval de frises, are these like spiky pit traps that, like, to get through you would have to make a dexterity save or get hit by. And then in the center of them are the heavy catapult. Out here, this and this are kind of just open to whatever because they're on wagons and there is no defense around them. However, these guys can pivot them and move them wherever they need. Also, I think you can see it, but I'm just saying it, is that behind each of these is a fire with several people. Several people. So, and all you have to roll with is you have 4 additional knights that will come and help you if necessary. But hopefully you heal them if they get hurt.
What? 4 additional. What?
Kniggets.
Kniggets. Each of you gets a knigget. Yes. So each as you guys disembark from the Sapper's Tunnel, which is where you are, right here.
Yes.
There are 4. There is a knight. There's a gallow knight that sounds terrible, especially in other game systems. But there is a knight from Gallow. Yes, there is a knight from Gallow that follows each of you out, and their job is to try and intercept the people around the catapult as it goes. I will say this: it is very likely that if any one of them has the chance to raise an alarm, the next one will hear. However, it may be a little more difficult for this one to hear about this one. So these are things I've already drawn out, and you guys do what you want. Also, remember, group of people down here, and some things to shoot at people from far away down there. Now, I just want to say one more thing, and that is that if you take too long, other forces from from Stepping Guard may show up to defend and help. All right, what do you want?
Quick question. On these, is it, if you say there's a trench around, these are little bridges to those catapults, correct?
No.
Like they're over the mound, up the embankment. Over the moat of the embankment.
We can do this. I'm zooming in on it. Scrolling up. So, where is my thing? Okay. Only safe way in.
It's right there. Okay. I just want to make
there. Yep. If you come in through, nope, wrong way. You come in through here, or here, or here, or here, or here, you have to make a save against them. If you save, you take half damage. However, if you go over them, like you fly in and then land next to them, you don't have to make any saves. So there's that.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm given the go ahead, I'm gonna my siege weapon is the last one. So
yep.
Whenever anybody says go. I just like the idea that dexterity is like, go? All right, go. And then she disappears into the night, and everyone's like, what was the goddamn plan? What are we doing? I don't know.
Go. I probably know what the plan is. I'm going to be...
Yeah, so...
I knew what my plan was. So.
Yeah, flying invisibly fast.
So...
All right, so we know what dexterity's doing. What is charisma doing?
I don't think that's her name, but okay.
Well,
don't you?
Think that's her name? Stat. It's not her name.
Your mouth thinks that's her name.
I just like to call her whatever I want, but it's fine. Whatever.
Right. Anyway, charisma. What is your plan?
My thought is,
first of all, Kevin, I hate you and I love you all the same time. I'm just saying. But continue on, please.
Can't wait to try to murder you.
My thought is trying to take out these three, because that might be the easiest to come down and at least get these things out of the way. Because if one of us deals with each of these, it's,
These three, you're saying?
yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3, but we have these guys down here. So I was thinking of just coming down and taking care of these while everyone else is dealing with their big one.
Okay, so I am.
I'm going to say that you guys. I just want to say that each of you has maybe the intelligence of this layout before you get there. So look at this map, and before everybody commits and says whatever, like think about it. So have at it.
I can also take I'm semi-dexterous, so I can also take a catapult if that's better.
Yeah, I think so. My thoughts are: I just got. I spent all the money. If anyone's checking the Discord, so I have more armor than I had, so I can be a decent distraction, especially if I can fly. So I'll be able to. I mean, I can cast fly on myself as well, so I can get out there and distract for at least some amount of time.
Well, these are ballistas.
If you guys are, this is worst case scenario. I'm saying if something happens, best case scenario is we fly up. You guys 1, 2, 3. You disable them. I go over here and then I just wait and then I go like, okay, nothing's happening. We're good. And then
I just
count to 30.
I just want to put this out there. That like if you guys fly up and do that and pass your stealth checks, then yes, no one notices that they're disabled. But if they notice, then the people are gonna fix them and they'll be good. So like the disabled check is good if nobody sees you, but if they see you, then there's that. The other thing to know as well, I think I said it, but I'm just going to say it again, is that if someone raises an alarm, more forces are coming, and they're going to be coming at some point. So,
yes.
Okay, so I guess I'll go after the first one. Morak, do you want to do the second one, and then Nim can try and do one of these and fend off these guys?
Are you trying to disable, or are you trying to just burn to the ground?
For me, I'd be disabling mine, but
on that, Nim, I will have needed like 3 flasks of alchemist fire just to have on me, being that you did the shopping.
Yeah, just in case we want to start lighting it up.
In case we need to.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to.
Right, exactly. You guys, we're going for the. You guys are disabling, hopefully silently, stealthily. I don't even honestly think these are worth destroying. If we can use these as like, if we can just get rid of these ones with no issues, take them out. You can have your big crossbow.
I mean, do we want to just as a test run? Do you want to just send me first and see how I do with the furthest one? And you guys are
maybe it's something where we just move up together and kind of get a little bit in place. Do we have the ability to communicate telepathically? Anyone have something that allows that?
I think Puent had it, but you don't have Puent right now.
Oh, Puent had it. For some reason I thought it was Morak. Morak, you need to get that shit.
Right?
Give me a helm of telepathy. Put that on the list.
Yeah, put it on the list.
I asked like 40 times, what does anyone want?
Yeah, Morak's like, why doesn't anyone tell me what they want for? Don't get it. So listen. Here's what I'm gonna say is if you guys want to go from the
it's a lot
from the Sappers Tunnel here all the way here,
That's where I want to go. Yes.
Yeah, no, I know you do. I'm
I
just
want to go
saying.
there.
Hold on. I'm not saying you can't.
Right.
I'm just saying that in order to get there, there is a group stealth check that needs to be rolled. And a group stealth check is everybody's going to roll stealth, and you got to get over a number, and then it occurs. And so you guys can get here, no problem. You guys can get here, no problem. But as you approach here, that's going to be stealth check 1 if we're all going to do it. It's going to be stealth check 2. This for whoever's moving forward, stealth check, and then you get there. So
I don't want to move with the group. I don't want to do that at all.
I'm sorry. I'm just remembering
how it is.
you.
Wait.
I am just remembering you in the snow, falling your way up a mountain, being like, "Yeah, go ahead. Who's not going to notice?" Kind of thing. So
I can't fail now. I can't fail this.
so wait. So everybody right now
Whatever.
is
No one saw that, so
yeah. Everybody, I did. Everybody's in the tunnel right here that the dwarven sappers have opened, and so what is the plan? And then if you tell me the plan, I will say some rolls, and then we'll go from there. What you know is this: is that 1, 2, 3. These are like heavy catapults that are going to cause some serious destruction tomorrow if you can't take them out. What you know is there's a group, there's a group, there's a group, and then down here by these carts that these light ballistas on that you can't see, there's another group of people. And then you also know that if they sound the alarm, it is no doubt that there is more people that will come to assault you from there. So
I mean, as much as she's trying to be offensive, she's right. What's the meme? She out of line, but she right.
You may be wrong. I may be right. No, it's crazy. Never mind.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll go to the second catapult in stealth. Morak go to the first. Nim go to the ballistas, and obscurity. Have at it.
Obscurity's already gone.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I've got this.
So Venice actually uttered the word "go" in his sentence.
Wait. I just want to make sure I got this. So Morak is going to go to the first one, which is going to require a stealth check. So Venice is going here, which is going to be 2 stealth checks. Obscurity is over here with his 3 stealth checks, and then Nim is down. I don't know, just lighting shit on fire right here. Which I'm gonna ask for 1 stealth check. So okay, how about this? Let's start with the easy ones. Everybody roll 1 stealth check and see what happens.
Make sure you roll with advantage.
Yep.
No.
I don't like this at all because I can't see anything that hasn't yet. So.
No, I'm saying.
Holy
no,
shit! Obscurity's good.
I don't roll with advantage.
No, I gave it to you.
Congrats. That means I don't have disadvantage.
Right.
It's just a regular. All right, so obscurity. I mean,
So my
amazing.
plus
Morak,
0.
amazing.
I got a 6.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's not a 1.
This is not a 1. It's not a 1. Keep going, everybody. That's a great sound.
Aren't you like inspired? Not bardic, but like.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good call. Yeah, fuck. I always use my shit on stealth. and then I lose it. It never works. Even as gust.
I mean,
I remember specifically there were like 3 times this gust. That's just like, oh yeah, that's right. I just got inspiration. Okay, no, I still failed. Okay, that was lower. It's gonna be tough to be lower, but let's see.
I mean, if it's lower, it gets better for me. But all right, so.
Yeah.
All right. So, wait. So, where is Venice's roll?
I I got a 16. Wait, let me just make sure I had that right. 16.
Okay. So let me do this. Hold on.
How big was that tunnel?
Like kind of. I'm assuming like a 10 by 10.
Okay. So plenty of room for my staff. Scythe.
100% yes.
Okay. Good. Well, it looks like I'm holding these guys off for a little bit longer than I was hoping to. So, if you guys could be quick about it. I'm also invisible and flying, so that's good, but they definitely still hear the creaking of my. It's probably because I got new armor. I haven't worked it in yet.
Not oiled
So it's
yet.
right. It's like
All right.
it's like a baseball glove.
So, Morak, you find yourself at like the top corner of one of these catapults. Savanus, you find yourself the same way, and Obscurity, you find yourself the same way. Nim, you find yourself around a small gathering of people that seem to be the heads of those controlling these like light ballista. Um, I think the question to ask right now is this: is do we want to roll initiative and see what happens, or do you just want to take an effect and then go from there?
We
And
haven't even been seen yet. Why would
no,
there be?
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like, but if you're gonna take an offensive action in some way, depending on where you are and what you're doing, it may result in stuff. So that's why I'm saying, what do you want to do?
Well, I thought it wouldn't be a offensive action if we are going against the inanimate object. It was a
So
table.
let me say this.
Really. We're defending ourselves.
You're
On our
defending
hand.
yourself.
Really, no.
Wait, you're defending yourself against an object that hasn't yet attacked yourself. Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
What weapons to our front yard, Thomas?
All right,
Come
so
on.
just to clarify it so that it's easier. Specifically, invisibility is you lose it when you attack or cast a spell.
Cast a
it
spell.
says.
Thank
Yeah, so
Kevin.
it
You
is
beat me to it, but
offensive,
high
but
five. Yes.
so depending on what we're doing, how we're doing this, it's something where I'm invisible over here. I haven't done anything yet, but these guys heard something or something happened.
I'm just gonna say that when you cast your first spell, it comes out like this. It comes out like a death clock song. That's all. But everyone else has been able to move to where they are, and thanks to Kevin's reminder, you know that if you were to cast a spell right now, you are no longer invisible. So what would you guys like to do?
I'd like to quietly land next to the trebuchet and quietly disable it.
I
All right.
second, but for me as well.
All right. Because you guys are flying, I have no problem with you guys doing that, but you need to give me a dexterity. It is a dexterity check. So like yeah, so a dex check. Not a save, but a check.
Yes, it's still advantage on
Not
dexterity.
sleight of
Yep.
hand.
You know what? Actually, that's a really good point. Like the book says dex, but I think sleight of hand is probably a little more apropos if that makes it better for you.
Yeah, a lot of those ones, because I know there's those ones where it's like, hey, do the, dex, and then it tells you what the thing is. It's like, why are you telling me intelligence, nature? It's like, just tell me nature, you weirdo.
24.
All right.
Jesus.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ, you guys.
First of all, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Nim, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then I'm looking at obscurity, and obscurity, you are able.
You're looking at Nim, and so are these guys, even though I'm invisible with rolls as low as I did.
Wait a minute. Wait. No, wait. Now I have questions. Nim, I'm sorry, not Nim. Obscurity.
They're just looking
I see
15
two
feet
rolls.
up.
What are you doing? Did you roll twice or once or what happened?
Yes,
Uh,
I roll with advantage.
Correct.
No. But if you rolled with advantage, you rolled twice with advantage.
What?
What?
Why?
No, the
Yeah.
first roll was
Beforehand?
23. The second roll was 21.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking above that where I saw stealth. Oh,
And
sleight
that's
of
sleight
hand.
of hand.
Okay. All right. So I'm like, no, I'm seeing all these rolls. Okay. So
And from
You're
someone
seeing
else.
double, Tom.
I'm
And half.
seeing
He's got
double.
double vision.
Oh, you beat me. Ah, damn it. You're right. So, all right. So,
I don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
I don't need none of it. But, however, obscurity, 100%, you're able to do this. And as you're doing that, I'm going to roll to see if anybody notices you. And no one notices you. So you basically undermine this catapult so that when it fires tomorrow, it's going to be like and break itself down. And none of the people near you do anything. Okay. Nim, everyone notices you. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that in a moment. And then lastly, who else was trying to sabotage it?
Me. It was 24.
Right. 24 is good. What? Well, let's see. Let's see what happens.
Morak, you have an advantage.
He did roll with advantage, but you also have a bardic inspiration.
However, Savannas, as you clop your way into making one of these lines or whatever go in, from behind you, you hear someone say, "Hey, what's that?" And then someone else says, "Oh, it's nothing but what? It's moving. Let's go check it out." And there it sounds like people are moving towards you. And then
You idiot,
Morak.
Savannis. You could
Yeah,
only
I
get
was
a
Well,
24.
at 20.
wait, hold. I want to be clear. I rolled a 19 on the die for perception. So
So did I on 19 on the die, but with a +5.
no,
But
you wouldn't have rolled a perception. You would have rolled stealth, not a perception. I rolled perception, but
Yeah, sleight of hand. But yeah.
sleight of hand, this. And then Morak, you rolled an 18 total, yes, or 20 because you had the +2. All right.
20.
And so the folks around you, let's see what they've got. Ooh. I gotta go back and see this. This is a soldier or thing. What do we have?
It's a bar wench. Not a
It's
sword.
not a bogwitch. You get out of here. You already killed those. Stop it. Regestian soldier. Oh yeah. Unfortunately, Morak, you can do what you want to do, but the whole squad sees you. So
Sees him or hears him?
no, they see him. So
They
Wait,
can
how
see
do they-
invisibility?
Yeah, he's invisible.
oh shit! Then they fucking no.
We're all
No,
invisible.
they don't. Oh my god! I'm sorry.
Yeah, everyone's
I'm sorry. I
invisible.
forgot.
Everyone's
I-
invisible.
I'm just Jesus Christ! Like I'm just like like I'm rolling for like natural just visibility, being like, all right, they see and they see, all right, and then I do it, and you're like, oh really? Oh really? Oh really? No, we're all invisible. All right, you assholes. So,
Remember,
anyways,
attack or spell. Remember, Tom.
no, I
Member.
don't. I do not. I do not put bubble gum on shoes that become slippers of spider climb. That's all I remember. But anyways,
Okay.
so all right, so Moruk has not been seen. So Venice has not been seen. Obscurity, though.
Oh, okay. Obscurity did not.
Fuck
The
off.
obscurity has not been seen, but she has been noticed that there are things moving, and
No, that was
because
me.
they rolled high enough to do it. That's why. So,
Roll high enough to do it.
well, here's the thing: if you're disabling a device, I'm assuming you're moving its parts around, not just being like, "Don't work, don't work." So,
Really cutting words.
super cutting words. They notice and they're like, "Oh shit, what is this?" And they're gonna rush over and try to do that, but they have not seen you yet. However,
Okay, but just moments ago, you said that they did not roll high enough.
For obscurity, it's Venice that they saw,
Right.
based on what Tom was.
you know what? If everybody's gonna be a stupid dick right now,
I'm just saying.
so
Just-
what I'm
just
gonna do,
based
what I'm gonna
on
do, what I'm
things
gonna
that
do is
are
this. What I'm gonna
recorded.
do is this: is just make Sylvanus have to die. He doesn't. He's upset. He's mad. I'm gonna just kill. It's fine. Whatever. All right. So here we are then. So obscurity, you're over there, and you're like, bloop, 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 bloop. No one notices. Moruk, you're over where you are. Bloop, 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 bloop. No one notices. So Venice, you are. Bloop, 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 bloop. Everyone fucking notices. Also, Nim. Bloop, 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 bloop. Where the fuck is she? But someone's here. All right, what do you want to do?
Disable.
You already did. I thought you already did. What the fuck?
Other people now. I want everybody to disable everything right now. Everybody disable.
You know what? If you do this, you disable yourself and you just lay there and drool on yourself for a while.
But all the other fighters are disabled too, so everyone it's just nap time.
So wait,
She
so
said
obscurity.
everything.
Oh, obscurity. Let's do this. Okay, so listen. Oh wait, no. Let me make. Nope. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. Select.
Like if obscurity can move because her job is done here, she's gonna go to Sylvanus's.
No. Look, I'm gonna do this and just be like, X. Did it do it?
Nope.
What the fuck? Why isn't that trying? Oh.
Didn't do it. Didn't do it.
It didn't do it. Didn't do it.
Didn't do it.
It sucks.
Not done. Didn't do that. Did it?
Let's try this. All right, so, boop.
Nope.
Oh my god! You know what? Obscurity doesn't matter. You disabled it. Wait. You obscurity specifically disabled the far one, and people are like, "No, it's cool. Everything's fine. We don't have to worry about it." And then you ran back. All right.
No, I'm not running. I'm flying.
You're
Still flying.
You're
Flying
relying.
slightly
Whatever.
Not
Okay.
too high, not too low.
So I actually got there and disabled my shit before the other two even got to their trebuchets.
That's true.
It's true, but shut up.
I am hasted, and I'm still hasted, and I'm flying back to Sylvanus's.
As you get to Sylvanus is like, I don't understand how this shit works.
But I got a 24. I did do it.
Well, no. With a 24, you're definitely like, oh, if I clip this thing, this is going to be great. However, everybody that's there is like,
No, yeah.
that guy's right there.
No,
And
he's invisible.
no, he's not, because he affected a thing. So
What? Oh my
No,
god!
he's
Why are
still
we
invisible.
changing this? Are we doing this?
Wait,
Fucking.
no, wait,
I'm
hold
definitely
on.
sending everyone the recording.
Hold on. Wait. I'm legitimately not trying to make people upset with this, but it's just like, so you did an offensive action against a thing, and
You're still invisible.
you're not still invisible if you take an action.
It
If
was,
you
Okay.
but it
cast a
was
spell, if you
attack or
cast a
spell.
spell,
Right.
Right.
and I thought Sylvanas just cast a spell,
No,
which made him visible.
No way.
Nice.
no. I cast invisibility on all of us before we left the tunnel.
That was his last spell.
We were over here. We
Mhm.
begot invisible. And then we went
And then
from there.
and then invisibility ends when you either take an offensive action or cast a
No.
spell. Yes?
Wrong. No. Attack or cast a spell.
I think I just said attack or cast a spell,
You
but
said
thanks.
take an offensive action.
We
Which
did not
is what
attack
you're
the
then
machine.
taking.
Which would be an attack, but okay, fair.
An attack
So-
is an offensive action, but if you say attack offensive action, you can then use it to kind of like determine that like the catapult, like yeah, you're offensively, but that's not actually what it is. So it's
So
like
let's-
if he's
okay,
not
so-
actually attacking
Like
it.
when you
So
take a watch apart, not
wait.
offensive action.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. So let's say this. So all of these action happens. All of these actions happen, and you moved over here, and so Venice is here in front of this catapult. What is Venice doing?
I was disabling it, like I said.
Right. So you're making a dex check, and
Yep.
your dex check came up to be a
24.
which was more than enough, which was great. And then what happened?
I think you said one of the guys had a 19 on the die for the perception, and so they noticed it.
All right, then in that case, then no, that does not happen, because you are actually no. For invisibility, it is a +10, and what is your for invisibility? What does invisibility give you for a set like check? Just to be clear.
I
DC
don't
for someone
know.
to see you.
I don't know if there is.
I thought there was a
anything.
DC. That's if there isn't, there isn't. But that's why I'm asking. If
Yeah,
there
I don't
is a
think
DC.
D on it. It's yeah, no, it just says a creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything that target is wearing or carrying is invisible. I think what we should be looking up. Give me 1 second. I think I'm just going to look up invisible as yeah. What we should be looking at is the actual God, I can't think of the fucking word. All right, here we go.
Listen, I appreciate that. So okay.
Condition of
Okay, an
invisibility?
invisible creature is impossible to see without the aid of magic or a special sense. For the purpose of hiding, the creature is heavily obscured. The creature's location can be detected by any noise it makes or any tracks it leaves. Attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage, and the creature's attack rolls have advantage.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So in that case, the people in the campfire cannot see or interact. So okay. Morak, are you invisible or no?
He is.
All right. And Morak, did you roll a dexterity?
Yeah, that was a
Sleight of
20.
hand.
It was
Yeah.
a 20. All right. So effectively, each of you that has come out so far has been able to disengage these catapults. However, you know that where Nim is right now, and Nim, I put you on the map right here. I don't know why I just did that. No, that shouldn't be me. So let's do Control Z. Get rid of that. No. Yes, whoever's doing that line, yes, Nim, you're right there. And you see that there is a resource of step guard soldiers, but there is. Why is it like I'm not clicking on that? Is somebody drawing the orange line?
What or this?
No, the thing that. Hold on. Control Z. Rid of. Okay, let's do this. Oh, like. I don't know what I'm saying.
I think that
Anyways,
orange was there when we got onto it.
all right, maybe it was. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that like Nim from where you are right now, and I think that you're invisible. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Is that you know that? Well, first of all, there's a group right here. You know, there's a group here. There's a group here. No, there's a group here. But what you do also know is that there is a ballista, like a light ballista there, and another light ballista right there. Um, all of these are things that could come back to bite you tomorrow. What you don't know, because I don't think people can tell you, is that your other mission, like subordinates, have literally crushed their mittens, their missions to the point that like no one's gonna know that these can't work, but they can't work. So what does everybody want to do?
I would try to swing down to see if this one has been disabled and try to disable at least one of the ballistas.
All right. So you are flying down. You're invisible. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I still have flight for flight is for 10 minutes and visibility for an hour.
I'm gonna roll a perception check, and I'm not giving advantage or anything to. I'm just gonna roll a perception check and see what.
Okay.
I do not see anything. So you get down there.
All right. Just gonna move right. Oh wait, that's not me. Is it? All right. There I am. I almost moved obscurity. Okay. So I would try to disable this one as well.
All right. So for them, hold on.
Yep.
I got to go back to my notes for this.
Yep.
No, that was for those. That was for. Okay, you can either set them on fire, or you can try to disengage, not disengage them, but sort of like dismember, I guess, dismantle them.
Dismantle. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll try to dismantle them. Would that be another sleight of hand?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll let that go.
Okay. So rolling 8, not great. So.
All right. Do me a favor, and as you do that, roll me a stealth check, and I'm
Okay.
gonna roll a perception check.
That is on advantage as well. Stealth check is a 15.
Okay. You are still invisible because you have not done an offensive action, so you might want to just to see what you get.
All right. I was gonna. Oh, try again.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. It's 1, 2, because it's working out badly. All right. 10, not great.
Okay. Unfortunately, somebody, and then everybody in the group down here sees that somehow things are starting to get moved around. And they're like, "What is that over there?" And all of them grab their weapons and start running towards where you are on the ballista. Now you are invisible and no one can see it, but they are running towards the ballista. I also see it is 11:30 at night right now, and I think this might be a good place to hit the pause button unless people disagree.
I agree.
I agree.
All right.
Probably a pretty good place.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The majority of you guys, you've done like the most James Bondish shit ever. Like you're just like boop, done, boop, done, boop, done, and then Savannis is like, "I'll take care of the shit down here." I messed up, but I got this. I got the. And then everyone was like, "Why is everything moving on that catapult over there?" And then like, and Savannis is like, "Don't worry about it." And then they're like, "Oh, we gotta worry about it," and that's where we are. Right? So, all right.
Is Nim visible right now or still invisible?
Still
I'm
invisible.
still invisible.
Okay.
Yep, still totally invisible. I mean, like, you guys are effectively handling this. Like, it just is.
Yeah, what are they gonna do with 3 fucking ballistas at this point? And Nim, were you able to take out any ballista?
No,
Okay.
but
I mean,
Savannis
like
tried.
to be honest, the bad guys haven't even had a chance to go yet. So, like, yeah, there's a lot going on, but um, but to be announced, for sure. So, good stuff tonight. I hope everybody had fun. I know that there was some downtime stuff, so if anybody wants to chat more about it or has ideas, let's chat about it. Let's do it. But I hope everyone is having fun in the sense that like it's no fun to play a game that isn't interesting, isn't like ever changing, isn't like developing, and but beyond like the sort of like character level and etc. So I hope people are having fun. And if I've done anything in regards to character development, etc., or items or whatever that you don't like, let me know, and I'm happy to do whatever. But thanks everybody for playing, and we'll talk to you next week. All right, thank you.
Sounds good. Later, guys.
Peace.
Bye.